What is Buddhism? Is Buddhism compatible with science? The 15 most common questions. You need to know, Part 2. What is Buddhism? The term Buddhism originates from the word Buddhi, meaning to awaken or to be enlightened, and thus, Buddhism is a religion that leads to enlightenment. This doctrine stems from the experiences of one individual, Siddhartha Gautama, who achieved enlightenment at the age of 35 and is revered as the Buddha. To this day, Buddhism has existed for over 2,500 years and has approximately 380 million followers worldwide. Up until about 100 years ago, Buddhism was primarily an Eastern philosophy, but gradually, more people from Europe, Australia, and America have taken interest in it. So, is Buddhism just a philosophy? The word philosophy consists of two parts, philo meaning love or fondness, and sophia meaning wisdom. Thus, philosophy is the love of wisdom or love and wisdom. Both meanings perfectly describe Buddhism. Buddhism teaches us to fully develop our intellectual capabilities for clear comprehension. It also teaches us to cultivate compassion to become true friends to all living beings. Therefore, Buddhism is a philosophy, but not just any philosophy. It is the supreme philosophy. Who is Buddha? In the year 623 BCE, a boy was born into a royal family in the northern region of India. The prince grew up in luxury, but soon realized that material comfort and safety do not guarantee happiness. He was deeply moved by the suffering of those around him and resolved to find the secret to human happiness. At the age of 29, he left his wife and child to seek enlightenment, sitting at the feet of the famous teachers of his time to learn. They taught him much, but none could truly comprehend the root of human suffering or how to escape it. Finally, after 6 years of ascetic practice and meditation, he had accumulated enough experience to break through ignorance and achieve enlightenment. From then on, he was revered as the Buddha, the Enlightened One. For 45 years, he traveled across northern India, teaching others what he had realized. The Buddha's compassion and patience were truly remarkable, attracting thousands to become disciples of Buddhism. Even at the age of 80, despite old age and illness, he lived in happiness and peace until his death. Did the Buddha avoid his responsibilities by leaving his family? For the Buddha, leaving his family must not have been easy. It's certain he pondered, reflected, and hesitated for a long time before making his decision. He faced two paths, dedicating himself to his family or dedicating himself to the whole world. Ultimately, because of his boundless compassion, he chose to devote himself to the world. To this day, the entire world still benefits from his noble sacrifice. This was not about shirking responsibility. Perhaps it was the most meaningful sacrifice ever made. How can the Buddha help us after his passing? Michael Faraday, who discovered electricity, has passed away, but his inventions still benefit us. Louis Pasteur found treatments for many diseases. He is gone, but his medical discoveries still save lives today. Leonardo da Vinci, who created many artworks, has died. Yet what he created continues to uplift spirits and bring joy to many. Great people and heroes from centuries past are gone, but reading about their heroic histories still inspires us and makes us want to emulate them. Indeed, the Buddha has passed into nirvana, But 2,500 years later, his teaching still guides sentient beings, his virtuous example still inspires many, and his words still change lives. Only the Buddha could have such a profound impact centuries after his departure. Is the Buddha a deity? No, he is not a deity. He never claimed to be a god, the son of a god, or the messenger of a god. He was a human being who improved himself to perfection and taught that by following his virtuous example, we too can achieve perfection. If the Buddha is not a deity, why do people worship and venerate him? There are different ways to worship. When worshiping deities, people praise and honor them, offer gifts, and ask for blessings, believing that the deity will hear their praise, accept their offerings, and fulfill their prayers. Buddhists do not indulge in this type of worship. Another form of worship is to show respect to someone or something that one admires. For instance, when a teacher enters the room, we stand up to greet them. When meeting someone respectable, we bow. When the national anthem plays, we stand solemnly. These are acts of respect and veneration to express admiration and reverence. This is the kind of worship practiced by Buddhists. A statue of the Buddha sitting with his hands gently placed on his lap, with a serene smile, compassionate and wise, reminds us to cultivate love and inner peace. The scent of incense reminds us of the profound fragrance of morality. The light of the candle symbolizes the light of wisdom, and the flowers that bloom and fade remind us of the impermanence of all things. When prostrating, we express our gratitude to the Buddha for his invaluable teachings. This is the meaning of prostration in Buddhism. But I've heard that Buddhists worship idols. Statements like these reveal a lack of understanding by the speaker. A dictionary defines an idol as an image or statue worshipped as a god. As we've seen, Buddhists do not believe the Buddha is a deity, so how could they